Hello and welcome to the first of our Poseidon YouTube videos showing the system, its makeup, its configuration and its usage. This is the Poseidon box that we see here. It's a simple control unit computer which basically acts as a black box and manages and runs the whole system. Now if we come in close to look at the front of the machine, now if you can see from the front of the unit that we have quite a lot of connectivity on the available, and I'll go through that in detail now. First of all is the power feed into it. The power feed takes 12 or 24 volts on a 3-terminal connector, the black being 0, the red being 12 or 24 volts. But we also have another feed into the right-hand connector, which is the power control wire. So typically this unit would remain powered to the system at all times, or to the boat systems at all times, and the switch that controls this would switch the 24 volts to that third pin. This is designed that when you switch it off, if the unit is busy doing anything, the unit will put itself to bed gracefully before powering the system down. So in this particular case we've just hardwired a jumper across there. Primary input into the device comes from two main independent isolated, galvanically isolated NMEA 2000 connectors. We have one connected here, one which we're not using at the moment, and any NMEA 2000 input can come into any of those connectors. Also, we take inputs in through the Ethernet connectors. In this particular case, we have an Ethernet camera connected, which you'll see in a minute, and that's just through a distribution, an ordinary Ethernet switch on gigabit Ethernet, and provides information in and out to other devices. And then lastly, we've got two HDMI ports there and there, one of which is plugged into this screen that you see here, and the second of which is some USB ports where we bring the touch screen back from the system into the USB port. This means that we can use touch screens, high bright touch screens easily on that, but if you're in the sort of configuration that has a like a rollerball configuration in the arm of the chair of the captain's seat, that input can be brought into here instead, so you don't actually have to be right touching the screen if the screen is further away. And now I will show you the magic that's inside the box. This box has no moving parts whatsoever, which means there's no noise, there's nothing to be affected by the ship's motion or problems like that. So I'm going to take off the lid of the box, and now I can show you part of the secrets of what's inside this box. There's a very powerful processor here which supports many screens. That processor is a quad-core fast processor that runs at 75 watts power, but it's using special latest heat pipe technology, which has taken the heat away from the processor and carrying it through to the sides of the case, so that the whole thing just runs nice and cool. And as we all know, cool running electronics is long-lasting electronics. So that's the magics in the box. There is a solid state drive which is mounted underneath the motherboard, and you can see the quality of the wiring, the quality of the issues. But the really important thing is that we're running heat pipes which are basically bringing the heat out to the case. So this is just all running cold, and that means there's no noise, there's nothing to go wrong, there's no bearings to seize, there's nothing to make a noise, which is really adds to the power of the device tremendously. So I'll put the lid back on the box. And now that concludes basically the introduction to the hardware of Poseidon. So one unit can support many screens on the boat, nice and easily, very low cost Cat5 cabling, local HDMI cabling, many inputs, so data can come from cameras, from any NMEA 2000 sensor, or from a PLC interface in through the TCP/IP Ethernet interface. So Poseidon's hardware.